Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, it's David Salazar here, and today I want to talk about one of the things that it's probably the most difficult conversation that we have with potential clients. And that conversation usually comes forth whenever they're telling us their story, they're telling us about the facts of the case, and they also basically mention that there was a police report done and that the other person did not have insurance and that they did not have insurance. So I want to break this down and tell you that if an attorney hears that, if a personal injury attorney hears that from the onset, 8 times out of 10, he's probably going to just say, I'm sorry, we cannot help you. And I'll get to the reasons why he says that later on. But when you first tell that to an attorney, the first thing they're thinking of is there's not going to be any insurance. And there's an important reason for that. That being said, there are other ways to skin a cat. So if you take a look at this scenario, just because you don't have insurance and the other person doesn't have insurance doesn't mean there may not be any coverage there. The person may have been driving somebody else's car, the person may be a student and their parents may have the insurance for them. There's a lot of different ways to look at it. But there are alternate avenues of insurance coverage for people. You also yourself, you may not have underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage, but your parents might if you're a student, or your parents could be divorced and one of them could be covering you, or they both could be covering you at the same time and you just checked one of the policies. There's a lot of different ways to look at insurance coverage. That's something that you would definitely leave an attorney to do. I'd be happy to look to see what kind of coverage is available for you individually. But that being said, let's get back to our story. So let's just say somebody gets in an accident and they tell us from the outset that there's no insurance. We do our due diligence and we find after looking everywhere that there is no insurance anywhere. Well, that is not a good scenario for you because that means that there is no recourse for you in that situation. We have people who are potential clients who get upset at us all the time because we tell them we can't help them because there's no insurance. Well, we can't help you because there is no solvent party that we can go after. So in Texas, it is very, very hard to go after an individual. There are certain exceptions that apply. You have to have a certain amount of cash in your bank account. You have to have a certain amount of vehicles. You can't take away their personal property like their home. There's a lot of different things like that that you can't even touch in the state of Texas. So that being said, it makes it extremely difficult for an attorney to go after an individual. Plus, on top of that, if you go to a jury trial, you're basically going to be representing, you're going against somebody who's an individual and the jury's going to think that you're going to bankrupt them. Well, they don't like to do that anywhere in Texas. So the cards are stacked against you at that point. I would highly encourage you to take a second look at something like that because if there's no insurance, I can tell you right off the bat, I have handled thousands of cases, and if there's not any insurance anywhere, we have never taken the case. I honestly can't think of any attorney who has taken a case, and if that attorney does take a case, usually he takes it on some kind of retainer because he can't guarantee he's gonna get paid as well. So this is just food for thought for you guys. It's a really tough conversation to have with people whenever there is not insurance anywhere to be found because it's just a lose-lose all around. My suggestion and my advice is get your underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage. That way your ass is covered in case something happens and it's not your fault. At least you know that you're gonna get your bills paid for. So give me a call if you have any questions. My name is David Salazar. I like talking about this stuff. I hope that you this information is useful for you guys, and please join our YouTube page, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks.